Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Today I have with me Sam. He's one of the students here in Six Figure Fit Pro, and what I want to do is just give you guys a bit of a rundown on Sam's journey, right? I'm going to be asking Sam a couple of questions just to get his genuine experience in the program, and Sam's been able to achieve massive success in his time in the program. He just left an amazing, 5-figure profit month, right? So over 10K profit month in March, which is absolutely fantastic, but it definitely didn't start out that way, right? And Sam started with us, complete beginner, and was able to absolutely crush it in, the time that he was with us. So I want to pretty much pass it over to Sam, and I guess we'll kind of kick things off from your end, brother. Kind of give us a background, man, of where did things start for you before starting your online fitness coaching business? What were you really doing?
So I was a face-to-face PT, like many of your clients. I was struggling to get leads. I was struggling to close sales, and that's when I found Corbin online. And Corbin, at first, I thought he was like a lot of other fitness coaches out there, but I don't know why I decided to give him a shot, honestly. Like, I was just like, okay, this guy's been popping on my ads, like, I might just give him a shot. And I knew he was going to try and close me on a sale, on the sales call, but for some reason, it just felt like Corbin knew his thing, he knew his stuff, so I was just like, all right, fuck it, let's just give him a shot, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after joining the program, I mean, we started off with some brand builder stuff. So he taught me how to grow my brand, taught me how to create viral content, and then how to monetize that content. Yeah, so that's really where we first started. You want me to go on?
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll definitely get into that in a second. What I'm curious to dig into a little bit more is how long you were a PT for before you joined with us.
I was a PT for about 1.5 years. 1.5 years.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
What motivated you to want to start building up an online coaching business?
So there was the aspect of scalability, right? And as well as me being a national powerlifter, I have to dedicate a lot of time, a lot of effort into training. And when you have to do that, you start to think about how you can balance your career as an athlete as well as, your career in terms of making money. And of course, online is the way to go because I don't have to leave my place, physically it's also less tiring because I don't have to like travel around my country, to just to train my clients. So that's really what got me into online coaching. Yeah, man.
Yeah, got you. When you were doing like your PT stuff in person, I hear this from a couple of guys, and I'm curious if this was like your experience as well. But did you almost get a sense of like there was like a cap on the amount of money you could make? Like it was very much trading time for money, like kind of stuck just in that cycle on and on and on, and like almost looking for a way that you can take the cap off your earnings, have a bit more freedom. Was that the case for you as well? Or?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not the first time you've heard that, right? I mean, like everyone says the same thing. You only have 24 hours in a day. And a lot of us PTs, like we need to train, we need to continue our education, we need to, if you're doing a sport, you have to train yourself, right? In terms of your sport. You've got so many things to do, and every client takes minimum like around 45 minutes to an hour. So how many clients can you train in a day, right? And how much can you charge these clients? So there's always a cap, man. Like in terms of like being able to make more money within a day, doing face-to-face PT isn't exactly the route to go down. So I would agree, man. Like yeah, there's definitely a cap.
Got you, brother. Got you. And I guess with you kind of being in that zone of like feeling like, yeah, man, there's a cap on my earnings, having to travel around everywhere, potentially looking for a better solution. Like what you mentioned, there's a lot of other people out there that, help fitness coaches scale their business. But was there anything in particular that motivated you to take the next step and work with us in this program?
Yeah, I mean, what motivated me? I guess it was because I've been trying for a while. Like, I knew that I needed to tap into the online space. And I guess what motivated me was because I wanted to be able to really live life on my own terms, as cliche as it sounds. I wanted to be able to
Mm.
work remotely. I wanted to be able to travel the world. More importantly, at that point of time, I wanted to be able to train as an athlete and still make the
Mm.
kind of money in order to support, things like going overseas to compete, or my equipment, my coaching fees and stuff like that. So that really
Yeah.
pushed me to, yeah, that really pushed me to seek a solution. Yeah,
Mm.
kind of like find that way to make money but still do the things I love, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I guess for me, I'm curious, like when you actually joined the program, from when you started. You, as you mentioned, you started off in our like brand builder program, and then we gradually moved into our 6 figure Fit Pro program.
Yeah.
But how long have you and I been working together?
Oh man, it's actually been a while, man. So we started in July last year,
Mm.
but I wanna just put it out there that I was definitely not giving it my all, um, since I started in the brand builder program, because I a lot of competitions. I had three competitions since then,
Mm.
all of them being very important competitions, nationals and the
Mm.
world champs. So a lot of time was focused on training, and there is a point to be made as well about like um, not really feeling like I know what to do and just not giving it my all at certain
Mm.
points in time. So really, I could only say that like I started focusing and doubling down on my business maybe in around February, just this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So
Um, I mean,
February.
there were pockets of time where I
Yeah.
did focus, but
Mm.
like I would say a cumulative like 2 3 months at most of like true focus effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I definitely know that as well, and just again, guys, for a bit of background on like Sam's journey, because he is a professional powerlifter, as he said, like a lot of his time, energy, and dedication typically goes into that. That's why you mentioned you wanted to transition over to online in the first place, so like it could kind of accommodate both really important things in your life. But with that, until we found that kind of balance, it was really like either business and brand growth or competition, and like you won your last comp, wasn't it?
I won my
Yeah,
last two comps. Yeah,
yeah, last two comps, amazing.
yeah,
So like that, needing to focus on that kind of took you out of the business a bit. But in terms of where the pure focus comes in, it was really from this year,
yeah,
Feb, March, right? And what you've been able to do since then has been amazing, right? Like when
yeah,
you're able to dedicate and put your mind to it,
yeah,
you, like I said, in March left a profit 10K month,
yeah,
which is amazing, amazing.
yeah,
But I guess for a lot of people watching this, like the main reason I wanted to sit down with you was because the journey took longer, right?
yeah,
But you just refused to quit.
yeah,
Like you stayed in there, and a lot of people have this really short term mindset when it comes to success. If they don't see all the money in the first month, they like give up. They think it doesn't work. But like you said, you started with us in June,
yeah,
right? And granted, sure, it may not have been giving it your all. You had other priorities at the time, but you started with us in June
July.
and
Yeah,
July,
yeah,
July, sure. And now you've hit a 10K month.
yeah,
And there's a huge lesson in that. Is at least you know this from being in the program, but I'm very much like a model where the longer you play the game, you win. Hormozi says it all the time, right?
yeah,
And particularly with what we do, it's rather get rich for sure than get rich quick.
mhm,
Everyone sells the kind of get rich quick thing. I don't at all advertise like, oh yeah, cool, in 30 days you're gonna make 10K. But I wanna know from your standpoint, right? Like, why did you stay in the game? Why didn't you give up, even though it took longer?
So, okay. So the thing was, I was actually really frustrated at some point. Like, I kept breaking down every time it came to doing work. Um, okay, let's be real, right? When I actually started to focus and put in some effort last year around September, doing the
Mm,
brand builder stuff, I saw immediate growth, immediate success. Like, my account grew,
mm,
like, you know this, right? I started doing
mm.
the pull-up challenges, the entertainment content, and it just popped off. So huge win for me, right? Because that was the point.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really translate that into sales. So I just thought, okay, let's just keep holding on. This is how it's gonna go, right? And so December comes around, I close my first client, but then nothing happens after that, and we just keep working on it. I tried many things, it didn't work, and I know I was in constant contact with you. You just keep saying, just try this, try that, try this, try that, and I kept trying, and it just didn't seem to budge. So I gave up for like maybe 1 month in Jan, and then I thought to myself like, okay, and then that's when V2 came out, and you're like, do you want to join? But it's at this price, and I was like, well, shit, I haven't even made like a lot of. I've only closed one client. The price of V2, is not gonna. It's more than that. Why would I want to do it? But then at that point of time, I was really thinking, okay, I've really got a win. Obviously, like the growth in my account didn't come, like it wasn't just because of luck. Like you taught me how to get there, so obviously something works. Like I trust you to a certain extent. So you were just saying like, look, like this is what it's all about. These are all the modules you're gonna learn. And I was like, okay, these seem to be the things that I'm missing out right now. Let me just keep trying. And in my mind, genuinely, I had a bit of doubt, and this was my mindset. I was like, okay, in powerlifting, I face a lot of injuries. I face a lot of setbacks all the time. Like I would say, I'm in Singapore. I'm one of the athletes that gets injured a lot. But the
Really?
yeah,
Shit.
100%, no doubt about it. But the one thing that keeps getting me to high level competitions where I still show up is my ability to say I will do anything that's possible. And I always tell my coaches, I will do anything that you tell me I need to be doing. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I know I tried my best. Anything that can be done will be done. That's the phrase I always say. Anything that can be done will be done. So if Corbin tells me to pay this, invest this amount, then I'm gonna do it. And if it doesn't work, then at least I can blame him and say I did everything, because I know I'm the kind of guy who would do everything, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, bet. So you tell me this is what's gonna change my life. I'm gonna make sure I do everything, and then I'm gonna blame you if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I did everything I could, and then it worked. And then I was like, all
Yeah.
right, bet. So I guess, yeah.
My
So
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the attitude you have to have, right? Because I
For
was
sure.
willing to say, I wanted to be able to tell him like, look, I put in all this effort for months, and I wanted to tell him it didn't work, right? But it did work, and that's why I worked so hard, because I wanted to prove a point that like, I've been trying and it still doesn't work, but it did work,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, so,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, man, like, so all that means really is that until I decided to double down and just give it my all and just like not try to reinvent the wheel and do things myself, right? Like just follow the game plan. I was pretty much, I was pretty sure I wasn't gonna see results, man. Like one of the key things. Can I talk about one of the key things I did,
Yeah.
like got me to see
Yeah.
results? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the Instagram story promotions. That isn't even the main thing, that the core foundation of your program. Like it isn't even the main thing. So I can't even wait till like what happens until we implement the main thing, which is your VA system, right? But one of the things that I learned, just one thing I learned from the program, was to just do continuous story promotions, right? And I was like, bruh, I've been doing this for months. No one replies to it. It makes me feel super cringe. But you were just, one of the modules was like, okay, just do it 3 times a week. Just do it on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays specifically, right? And I was like, okay, since I want to prove him wrong, I'm gonna do it every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, exactly how he told me to do it,
Yeah.
right? And then once it doesn't work, I can show him it doesn't work, and then he can show me how he can give me more money and help me, right? And the thing is, it worked, right? It worked, and I was like, oh, okay, now I'm getting in leads, right? And then he was like, okay, with the leads, you gotta make sure you follow up. With the leads, you gotta make sure that you don't make them wait half a day. So I was like, okay, I'll do that, do just that, so I can prove him wrong. So I didn't make them wait. I did it on my own because I didn't trust nobody, and it worked, right? And then I started booking calls, and I was like, oh shit, it works. And then I had 4 calls within the week I decided to post the IG story promos. I got 4 book calls. I closed 3 of them in 2 days,
Yeah.
and I was
Hectic.
like, oh shit, it works. And then I
Yeah.
just was like, okay, since it works, now I know I'm gonna listen to everything he says and attend every single call and take down every single note and just make sure that I implement things as fast as possible because I've seen
Yeah.
how it works now. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
that's when it just went up like 2 weeks, boom, 10K. That's it.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing. Yeah. We say it's a 10K month. Really, it was like 10K.
in
Well,
two
you
weeks,
did an 11.
less than
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
On my
Which is
birthday, on March 15th, I was still broke.
yeah.
I remember I couldn't afford my dinner, and then the next week I was
Wow.
like, oh shit, now I can go out.
I'm
Yeah,
up. I'm up. My man. My
yeah,
man. That's awesome
literally, bro.
stuff, dude. That's sick as. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad. Like you're just being completely transparent, complete honesty. Like I told you before we
Yeah,
started. Like that's all I wanted. I just wanted your genuine experience. What you thought. What was going through your head, and I guess what led to a really big win,
yeah,
right? And I love the story that it was like laced in with try, fail, try, fail, try, fail. That is literally the experience of an entrepreneur. People think it's just flash and something is supposed to work straight away.
yeah,
I tell this to everyone in the program. Like I've spent at least now 6 figures on mentorships coaching. A handful of those worked. When I say
yeah,
worked, right, it's like I can attribute all the success to that. But there were so many things that I tried and failed, tried and failed, tried and failed. I don't know how many business models I've ran through, right? And even for me, that was the experience. But the people I bring into the program, I make it really clear, like, hey, this has to be the thing that you're sold out for. Like, you're willing to go to war for this thing. If you're not, then you're never going to be able to break past those difficult days, those
yeah,
difficult weeks, those months. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? And you know this from first-hand experience, right?
yeah,
But what I'm curious to know, like, besides, wanting to get in there and be like at first, like,
yeah.
just want to prove them wrong, prove them wrong, prove them wrong. I want to know, like, was there anything else for you, mindset-wise or whatever it was, where you kind of made the switch, where even though it took long, you were still in the game? What was it?
Hmm. What was the mindset switch? Okay. So actually, in your program, you have modules
Mm,
regarding mindset mastery, right?
mm,
And you had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 modules, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cheesy, bro. Like, I know I've got a strong mental, bro. Like, I didn't get to
yeah,
my point in my sport by not having a strong mental,
that's
right?
right.
I mean, 100%. That's without a doubt, bro. And so I was just like, I don't need to watch this. Like, I know I can do things if I just put my mind to it. But I was like, okay, he said watch this, and I still need to prove him wrong. So I gotta do everything he says because I know if I tell him it didn't work, he'd be like, "Did you watch it?" And I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
So I'm like, "All right, I
yeah,
will watch it just to make sure I covered all bases, right?"
yeah,
So I watched it all, and it was gold, bro. It was gold. It was about you talked about the true cause of distraction. You talked
mm,
about problem solving matrix, decision making matrix, right? You talked
mm,
about things like um, the valley of despair, right?
mm,
Informed optimism. I'm keeping all this in my head because these are things that are quite nuanced. You don't really think about it at the forefront of your head, but when someone
mm,
explains it to you and you're in that current situation where you're not seeing results, it makes a lot of sense. For example, put it into perspective, right? Like when I first joined, I was looking at other possible mentors as well, right? Things that were
mm,
doing like email marketing funnels. I don't know if you
mm,
remember, right? So I was like, okay, what
mm.
if I do two things and I combine it and I can get more results? But it's like, bro, doing one thing is really so hard. How are you gonna do two
Yeah,
things, bro? And you're not even good at any one of them. Like, so that's like distraction, right? So it's like, it's not about like you were saying. It's not about like going out with your friends and going partying and whatnot. It's about like shiny object syndrome,
mm,
thinking that the next thing is always better. This is the next thing that's gonna help me. There's no next thing that's gonna help you. If you can't even like excel at your current thing, no next thing is gonna help you, right? So that one
well,
really
well said.
resonated with me. Yeah.
Mm,
And then the second thing is like, how can you? I remember asking you for a lot of help. Like, bro, I don't know how to do this. Simple things like I my Loom video. It's like no audio, and you're like I'll let you figure this one out. And I was just thinking to myself like, okay, at this point, if I'm asking about things like my Loom has no audio and I'm asking him to solve it for me, what does that say about me? Because I know if I'm gonna
wow.
take it down the line and I have to start making more money, how can I be
Mm,
asking him about honestly very menial things like that I should have the ability to solve on my own, And not only
Wow.
the ability, but the willingness to solve on my own, right? Because I can't rely on someone else. Like he should be helping me with things like, maybe paid ads, how to build a funnel, what my messaging is, things that are a bit more out of my scope. But it's not, you can't rely on Corbin to hold your hand, spoon feed you. He's there to guide you because he has a level of expertise you don't have, but that doesn't take away the work that you put in. And so a lot of these things I draw back to my life as an athlete. I have a coach, right? He can't do the training for me, but he can write the programming for me. He can tell me how to execute the movements better, right? So
Yo,
every time I face a problem,
one sec, brother. I think I think your audio visuals cut out. Sorry, brother. I think your thing's cut out. Can you talk for me?
Hello?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think there's a little bit of lag,
All right.
but I think we're okay. I think we're
We're
okay.
okay?
Sorry, keep going. Yeah, when it
Yeah, I
comes
mean,
to
I'm just talking about like
yeah.
the mindset stuff, like what made the switch, right? So all these things, I was like, okay, I can resonate with it. This makes sense. I've applied it before in my life, and so it became like, because I still wanted to prove you wrong. I still haven't. I didn't see results. I took notes with everything. All right. I made a mental note. Okay, if he says the hockey stick thing is true, the value of despair, we will go down before we go up. Okay, maybe I'm there. Right. So if I'm there and he says we need to work our way out of there, then let me try working my way out of there because I still need to prove
Yeah.
him wrong that it doesn't work. Right. So I just kept saying like, let's do it then. Everything he says, I will do. And I did like everything to the T because I'm very meticulous like that. So then I just did it, and that was the mindset shift I needed because I was really paying him, investing more in. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it did cut out a bit.
Where was I?
You were saying that was like the mindset shift for
Yeah,
you.
that was essentially the mindset shift, man. And
Yeah,
like I
that's
mean,
awesome,
and
man.
yeah, so then it was just like, you know what, let's just double down now. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least I can tell him, yo, it doesn't work, man, because I know I tried everything. So
Yeah, and
it
isn't
was
that
like that.
interesting, right? It's like when you applied everything and you just followed the instructions, then it worked,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of fascinating, and even when we were doing the brand builder stuff as well, when you went through the program and you just applied the brand builder stuff as well, it just worked the same, right? You saw results when you applied the brand builder things, went viral, built up your audience, and then same thing when it came to the business side of things, when you just applied the strategies
Yeah.
and followed it to the T and you were meticulous,
Yeah.
then it worked, right? And I think this is where some people go wrong, and as you know, I walked through this in the mindset module too, is like oftentimes the plan is so simple, the hardest thing to do is just stick to it. And that's why you'll find so many people who will start on a certain thing and then kind of try and change or to add in this, and now it looks nothing like the original strategy at all, and they don't get results. It's no wonder,
Yeah.
right? But you're living proof of when you just knuckled down in February, right? All the Feb, all the March, when you just knuckled down and you're like, yeah, cool, I'm just going to follow the system. I'm just going to do it. Then it ended up working, right?
Yeah, not
Wrapped
even
up
that, bro.
an amazing month, right?
Like now that I think about
So-
it, it was in March, bro. It just took me like 2 weeks of just not even like 2 weeks, bro. I like 1 week of very focused effort, and then that was it, bro. Just 1 week, bro. Because
Yeah.
I remember my competition was on
That's
the 1st
fucking
of March.
crazy.
Yeah, it was on my competition was the 1st
Yeah,
of March.
yeah.
I told you I couldn't do work, and then I came out of work maybe a week later. So like 1 to 2 weeks of really focused effort. That's it. That's all it took. Very focused, 100%. 1 to 2 weeks. That's all it took. And then you think about it, like I've been in this program for months, more than half a year. Why didn't I see results? And it's like because I didn't put in that kind of focus, intense effort. But it's really just like that. You put in 100%, you will definitely see results. Definitely. Yeah. It was the
Yeah,
same for the
yeah.
brand builder stuff, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. I really appreciate you sharing and just giving like your full experience
Yeah,
of
man.
what that was like. I guess, brother, to wrap off on this, I would love to hear your, I guess, words of wisdom for anyone else who is either a PT,
Yeah.
wanting to transition, someone who's already in the business, who wants to grow, who wants to scale, who wants to do bigger and better things, what kind of advice do you have for them on how they can see the level of success that you've seen by just sticking to it? And I say this, hopefully the Wi-Fi isn't going to cut out, but yeah, over to you, brother.
Just listen to Corbin. That's all I'll say. Like, no, because it's true though. Like, I honestly feel like if someone just listened to you, whether or not he's really making money, whether or not he isn't making money, he's gonna get a lot of value out of it. That's what I feel. Like every time we have these weekly calls, I'm taking like a boatload of notes and I can't even keep up, bro, because there's just so much value that you give to, us being in your program. The little things really count. The little tweaks that we make in our business is what could take you from nothing to like 10K a month. And I feel like that was what it was for me, So some words of wisdom. I mean, if you aren't seeing results, what are you gonna do about it, right? Like, let's say you're just not seeing results. If you're online PT or face-to-face PT, what are you gonna do about it? And if you are seeing results but you want better, what are you gonna do about it? Like, are you just going to continue doing the same things? You have to try to step out of your comfort zone and do things that are unfamiliar to you, that may even make you question yourself if you want to see results, right? And for me, that was Corbin. Corbin was that for me. But it's not like I haven't had mentors in the past. It was just that Corbin's system was a lot more different than the other previous mentors I've had. So do take that leap of faith, right? Back yourself, understand that the system works. I'm living proof of it. And yeah, man, just take that step forward, because cut off, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but you're wrapping up your point. Yeah.
I would just say, bro, take that step forward, man. Listen to what this guy has to say, because, like, if you can do anything, you could do what I did, and you could just try to prove him wrong. Because I'm sure if you really try to prove him wrong, you will see results as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man.
awesome, brother. That's awesome. Dude, I really appreciate that, and again, just your honest kind of experience with things. And obviously, I'm so stoked for you to have this amazing win, and to really see the fruit of your hard work. I always tell you the same thing, is bro, like every thing that you've put yourself into in life, whether it's powerlifting or brand building or business building, as soon as you just lock in, you put your mind to it. Even if you felt like you didn't have the skills for something, even if you were stressed or anxious about whatever, right? Or as you mentioned, like having those moments of breakdown, right? No matter what it was, when you just stuck to it and you had the right guidance, you had a system alongside you, you always found a way to be successful with it. That is what's awesome. Like, that's what's incredible to see.
Yeah,
You always found a way to be successful, which is fucking unreal, right? So I just have to say, bro, big congrats. You absolutely deserve every win that you've had so far.
Thank
All
you,
the new
bro.
wins coming to you. And so stoked to still have you in the program, man. This is just the beginning. I know 100% this is just the beginning. We're going to go bigger and better. So, brother, again, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for being in the program.
100%.
And you're a hero, dude. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to.
Alright.
Are we done with the call?
We can be, bro.
Okay, so I've actually got another friend who might join. Like,